Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome to another episode of Nostalgia Train. Well, I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday because I know I did. Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about the 1987 horror comedy, The Boys. No, sorry, actually, The Lost Boys. Sorry, I've got The Boys on the brain. The Lost Boys. It was a wonderful film. I saw it when I was a kid. And before this movie, the only vampire film I'd seen was the Christopher Lee vampire film, which scared the crap out of me. So this was like the only other vampire film I saw, after the Christopher Lee films, and it was fantastic. The Christopher Lee films used to scare the bejesus out of me, and this one, back when I saw it when I was a kid, it was a bit scary, but it wasn't too scary. I could, it was entertaining. It was fun. I could watch this one. It's about these these teenage boys who moved with their mom after she got divorced from their father to a small town in California, made up town, Santa Carlos or something. And what they didn't know is that the town had a vampire problem. So Michael, he's the oldest. He gets involved with this biker gang led by David, played by Kiefer Sutherland. Jack Bauer. Before he was Jack Bauer. So he didn't know that they were actually vampires. So they had like an initiation ritual for him to join the biker gang, and he drank a bottle of wine that had the blood of Kiefer Sutherland's character David in the wine. So that was how he got infected. Eventually he tells his brother, because he almost fed on his brother, but so he had to tell his brother, and the brother decided to help him because there were these two teenage boys worked in a comic store, their parents' comic book store, and they were already trying to drop subtle hints to his brother Sam that the town had a vampire problem. So now Sam now told them, like, okay, this vampire thing you're talking about is real. My brother's actually been turned, but he's still in the process, because David reveals to Michael that to complete the process you have to feed on human blood to complete the process to become fully a vampire. So right now Michael's like fighting the urge to turn because he doesn't want to become a vampire. So there's this girl he fell in love with. She's also part of the David's crew, Star, that was her name, and she also hasn't transitioned fully. So she told him that there's actually a way for them to undo the I don't know, call it infection something. So the two teenage boys that work in the comic book store, they say they researched it and found that yes, you can save yourself from being a vampire by killing the person who turned you, which like the head vampire. And once you kill him, everyone who he had turned into a vampire will turn back to humans. So that was the plan. So they now go after David, since he's the leader of the biker gang. So they go to his cave where he hides out with his crew. It's actually a rundown hotel. So they now go there to take them out. So they now take out one of the vampires, because they're going to kill all of them anyway. So they now take out one of them with a stake, and because like they're sleeping, this was during the day, because they always sleep during the day, because they can't come out in the sunlight, otherwise they'll die. So they sleep during the day and wake up at night and hunt and feed and all that. So Michael now goes with his brother Sam and his two friends to go take out the vampires. So he now tells them that they need to save Star, because she's not fully a vampire yet, and she wants out of this whole situation just as he does. So Michael now goes for Star and carries her to the car, while his younger brother Sam and his two friends try to take out the vampires, but they only kill one, and he kind of wakes up and starts screaming and shouting. So they had to flee, because every other vampire now woke up and was now gunning for them. But because it was daylight, they couldn't pursue them out into the sun, so they were able to get away. But they now know that now they're coming for them, so they have to prepare. The fight is now coming to them. So Michael and his brother and the two guys and Star, she now helps them out as well. So they now start preparing with holy water, garlic, steaks, and the usual weapons. So nightfall comes, but their mom was actually out at the time. she started working in this video store, and the owner Max now took an interest in her, so she's been on like a few dates with him. So she was out on a date with him, so they're like, okay, they didn't have to worry about her. Then the grandfather, they sort of like tricked him into going out to meet this woman in the neighborhood that he had a crush on. So he now, so he was out, so they had the house to himself for the battle. So the battles kicked off, and Sam and his two friends were able to take out one of the vampires, and Michael now had a showdown with David, and he successfully took him out. But after that, he now realized they were still vampires. They had not turned, so David was not the lead vampire. So they're like, But while the mom was out on a date, she, was worried about them and wanted to see how they were doing. So she now decided to cut her date short and come back home. So her boss and boyfriend Max now decided to come with her to make sure the boys were okay and all that. So they now arrive after the battle, and they see all the destruction, because there was a huge mess, So they now saw all of that, and they felt, at this time, Michael was like in full vampire mode. He was frightening. He had the eyes, scary features, the fangs. So he hid in the dark with Star. He said he didn't want his mom to see him like that. So while Sam and his friend are trying to explain the situation to their mom, because clearly they can't keep this a secret anymore, they have to tell her. So they're not trying to break it down, trying to tell her, But then Max now walks into the living room and sees all destruction. He now sees where David's dead body is. So he now goes there and starts to talk to his dead body. Like, I told him to be careful. So, started talking like that. So everyone now like turns and looks at him like, what are you talking about? You're not supposed to even know this guy. So he now reveals that he's actually the leader, of the vampires, and that his plan was to turn Michael's mom into a vampire, and his younger brother as well. It was also his idea to turn Michael into a vampire. So his plan was to turn even their mom, so that all of them would live together like one big happy vampire family. So he now, wants to now bite their mom to turn her. So they now try to fight him, and they are unable to do. They were unsuccessful because he's very powerful. So just then, how their grandfather drives into the house, into the living with his truck, and he rams and impales Max on these antlers, because he likes to hunt wild animals. So he has heads of deers in his living room with the antlers, So he now impales him on that, and he now bursts into flame and and dies. And so that's how Michael gets turned back to normal and Star, and so that's how the movie comes to an end. And it's a wonderful film. It's one of those. It's a cult classic. I mean, everyone knows that. It was a huge hit when it came out, and it's still up there. And it even has 2 sequels, which I didn't know about. So I'll probably check this out and see how good they are. So that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed the video, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Thank you.